You ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
This Photoshop job of the College Football 27 cover for this year is atrocious. Like, who made this? It's so bad.
This is the deluxe edition. So you have to pay extra to get Kurt Signetti on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're paying extra to get Kurt Signetti?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
From the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bit Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you don't love the best golfers in the world coming to TPC Southwind annually for the FedEx St. Jude Championship, because sounds like that might be over soon. Next week's still going to be great. Year after should still be great. After that, very much up in the air. Some less than ideal news this morning. We'll dive into it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, Chris Vernon going to join me because it's Wednesday. Chris Vernon is the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. He'll pop in here with me. We'll talk all things FESJC and NBA. Vernon will be here in about 20 minutes. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the Protect College Sports Act continues to be a big topic of conversation throughout this country of ours. I'll share some thoughts on that. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Memphis and Grand Canyon have agreed to a home-and-home series in men's basketball that will reportedly start this December inside FedEx Forum. We'll spend a few minutes on that in just a bit. Titan star Jeffrey Simmons was kicked out of practice yesterday for throwing a punch at a teammate. He's fighting on the football field. I'll get Bennett's thoughts on that. We'll do it in the third segment. WWE legend Brock Lesnar is He's formally announced his retirement, but I thought he had already retired at some point. Maybe I'm just getting confused. I'll ask Bennett if we believe Brock Lesnar is actually retired this time, because I think he tried to tell us this once. We'll dive into that. We'll do it a little later on in the show. And I experienced my first German wedding this past weekend. We did it on an island just off the coast of Spain. Whole thing lasted roughly 9 hours. It was like a 9-hour wedding. Congratulations to anybody who can remember the end of it. I'll tell you more about that. It's a special evening, an awesome trip. We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually have Robert Miller come in here around 11:20. He's the executive director of the FedEx St. Jude Championship. So, got lots of questions for him. Yep. Robert Miller going to be here around at 11:20. And then we're eventually going to do GP's carryout. And then we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I want to start by once again, and perhaps for like the last time this year. But I want to start by thanking Bennett and Kyra, Lang, Roser, everybody else. CJ, everybody here. Everybody who works under this big umbrella, who held things down while I was in Spain for a wedding with my wife. It was just truly an incredible experience. So grateful we got to do that. I'm going to tell you more about that later on in the show. But first and foremost, I just wanted to thank you guys, all the folks around here, for handling things in my absence. Big Ben Bennett, it's good to see you on a Wednesday morning.
You too, man.
How you been? I miss anything important?
No, not really.
I didn't think I did.
You did a pretty good time to go on vacation.
Yeah, I gather y'all got that LeBron thing figured out.
Yeah, we figured out that. I mean, we talked about Spider-Man a lot. You know, Spider-Man's a big deal right now. I don't know if you've heard since you've been overseas, but Spider-Man's a pretty big deal.
No, I heard that. I heard they talk about Spider-Man even overseas, even on the other side of the world.
Everybody loves Spider-Man.
They love Spider-Man no matter the language. So I'm very aware. The Odyssey's still running strong.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is still filling up theaters.
So back.
The art industry, the film industry is operating at an extremely high level.
Be still my heart.
We might actually be back in some way. So. Yeah, it feels like all I missed was a bunch of big movie stuff and LeBron picking Philadelphia.
I think that's right.
Outside of that, it was probably a decent time to step away. But now I'm back, and obviously the place to start this morning, unfortunately, is with the big story from Jason Munz. It published this morning, commercialappeal.com. The headline reads this way: Memphis Golf Tournament losing premier PGA Tour status in 2028. Womp, womp, womp. Put simply, if you want to see Scotty Scheffler, Roy McIlroy, Justin Thomas, and the best golfers in the world play TPC Southwind, you'd better do it next week or next year, because after that, Memphis will not be a part of the tour's new championship series. There is no way to spin this good. It's not good. It stinks for Memphis. Stinks for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Stinks for TPC Southwind. It stinks for anybody and everybody who cares about the sports landscape in the city. And it stinks for everybody who just cares about the city at all. Whether you care about golf, even a little bit, or not at all. You just know that every year when the PGA Tour comes here for what has been a signature event annually since 2019, it is an incredible commercial for Memphis, for the best and brightest hospital in the whole wide world, the one that sits down there, 262 Danny Thomas, just a little over a mile north of where we're sitting right now. It's an incredible commercial that shines a light on those amazing children, on those unbelievable doctors, on our great city. And now, what we know as of this morning, starting in 2028, it just won't be. At least not in the same way. Before I keep going, let me bring you in. I know you're not a golfer or a diehard golf fan, but I know you care about this city a lot, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on what you heard this morning about our golf tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously disappointing because, like, we sat here on this show and celebrated it when it got announced that it was going to be part of the championship series back in, what did you say, 2019?
It was a part of, it became a signature event, and it was part of the playoff, and it is still currently part of the playoff and will be next year, but after that it's over. And I will, when we're done here, explain more of what that's probably going to look like, but it's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not like the most massive golf fan. I do love this event because of what it does and shines the spotlight on my city. Like, I've enjoyed going out there. I've enjoyed taking the fam out there. But I've also enjoyed watching it on TV because, like you said, it's a great commercial for the city of Memphis. So
we might need to get Golf Channel because the network television days might be coming to an end.
Yeah, so that's obviously disappointing. I saw the FedEx statement this morning, and I think one of the big things that does, at least while we're disappointed today, I do love seeing FedEx just reiterate like their commitment to the city of Memphis. I think that's obviously super important to the future of the city of Memphis. So I love seeing that. And I do think that, we'll see things from FedEx down the road that'll, be different things that aren't the golf tournament that we'll be proud of and excited about. So that's one thing that I saw today that was like, okay, good.
I did think the Fed understand their vision for the future and appreciate the long-standing partnership over the last 40 years. While we are disappointed the FedEx St. Jude Championship will not be a part of the new championship series, we are encouraged by their plans to find other opportunities to bring professional golf to Memphis. Regardless of the tournament's next chapter, our commitment to making new investments in this great city we call home will continue. That seemed very intentional. We are committed to making new investments in Memphis. Didn't quite say we're committed to making new investments in the PGA Tour. We're excited about maybe Memphis continuing to be a part of the PGA Tour and having golf opportunities. But FedEx made it clear there, we're committed to Memphis more than we're committed to the PGA Tour. And exactly what this is going to look like moving forward is unclear. I should say that. Robert Miller's going to be here in about an hour. I'll make sure to ask all the questions. But it's not going to be what it looks like next week. It's not going to be what it looked like last year. The days of the biggest and the best being here appear to be a thing of the past. For people who don't follow golf, there were indications that we were moving this direction even before the news broke this morning, because there had been reports about these new championship series events in recent weeks and months, and Memphis was very noticeably left off of it. It mentioned this and that and this and that and this and that, but not TPC Southwind. So that was the first place where you could start going, all right, this doesn't look good. But you could still keep your fingers crossed. But as of this morning, just know that the fingers crossed stuff didn't work. So the new championship series is going to start in 2028. And it's going to be between 23 and 24 events each year, depending on Ryder Cups and that kind of stuff. But it's, a bunch of normal PGA Tour events that are going to have $20 million purses, and Roy McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler and all those. And then the majors, and then the playoff and all of that stuff. What we would like is to be a part of that, to be one of the signature events on the PGA Tour. That's what we've been since 2019. That's what we're going to be next week. That's what we're going to be next year. We are not going to be that anymore. What we're going to be remains unclear, at least publicly known right now, but I can give you the options, and neither one are great. In addition to the championship series on the PGA Tour that's going to have the best golfers and the biggest purses and network television, there's also going to be something called the Challenger Series. There's going to be 20 of these tournaments each year. Now, they're technically PGA Tour events, but don't let them lie to you. I'm not going to let them lie to me.
Yeah, what is...
They're minor league events. You might see Jim Nantz, you might see whatever, but it'll be on Channel 3 or Channel 5 or whatever. It won't have the same level of golfers, but at least it won't be overshadowed by Roy McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler. There's going to be 7 of those. Then there's going to be the other 13. They're going directly opposite championship series events. So on CBS, you're going to have Roy McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler. And on, the Golf Channel, you're going to have these other events with golfers you never heard of. That's where we're headed. Yikes. Yeah, that's where we're headed. And it's a minor league golf tournament. I mean, I don't want to call it that. But part of the awesome thing about me taking my family out there next week, or me taking my friends out there to play the course, is to be like I got pictures of my boys with Colin Morikawa, I got a video of Oliver fist bumping Jordan Spieth, I got pictures of my boys standing in front of Scotty Scheffler. My guys know what it's like to see Roy McIlroy walk up 15. You take your friends out there to the golf course. You're like, hey, you remember the year Justin Thomas won it? So this is the hole where, remember, he pulled that on 15 and he went the wrong way, but he got a lucky bounce and then he closed out the tournament? That happened right here. Oh, you remember when Dustin Johnson won it and he holed out on 18? Walk over here with me. Let me show you where that happened. Okay, so this is number 2. That one year during COVID, Bryson DeChambeau was out here. Me and Vernon were here. We walked up here. Now, the fairway's out here, right? But DeChambeau, oh, buddy, he tried to take it right over these trees. Let me show you where that ball landed. That's part of the fun. And now we get 2 more years of that. And then I guess you can have those old stories forever, but you won't get the new ones, at least not as it's currently constructed. And the most devastating thing about it all is it's just, at some point, you got to look up and go, think about all the stuff we're losing and all the stuff that people like to ask questions all the time, like, are you better off today than you were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that kind of stuff, right? So let's just talk about the Memphis sports scene. You want to just do 10 years ago?
Not really.
Go
ahead.
Yeah. As I'm thinking through it, me neither. But I'm trying to make a point. There was a time not too long ago, I don't want to say it was 10 or 5 or 15 or 20, but you're going to get my point here. We've got the best minor league baseball park in this country, right? A vibrant downtown Redbirds, AAA. Now we don't know what's going on with that park yet. We don't know what the future of the Redbirds are. We could lose that, all right? We could go in a 2-decade span of having the best minor league park in America with the AAA St. Louis Cardinals franchise to, like, who knows what that looks like, all right? The University of Memphis. Look at his conference affiliation. Where would you rather be? 10 years ago or right now? 20 years ago or right now? 30 years ago or right now? It ain't got better. It's worse. As bad as it's ever been. And we're losing NBA games to Nashville. I guess that's something I missed while I was out. You know, when I grew up, we had water park here. We had an amusement park here. I can't take my kids to a water park. Can't take my kids to an amusement park. Like, you look around and it's just like, the Big 12 won't come here. LeBron don't want to come here, and now the PGA Tour don't want to come here. That's not great. This is concerning. And I wish I could spin it into a good thing and tell you everything's going to be okay. But the best I can do is tell you I hope everything's going to be okay. But ain't nobody else betting on it right now. You know? The Big 12 ain't betting on it. And the PGA Tour ain't betting on it. And it concerns me for, like, this is a city where I want my kids to raise kids. And I wanted it always to be better than it was for me. But if we're being honest, right now in this moment, is it? You answer the question. I'll ask you.
I mean, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about the future.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm not.
But how many? At what point do we have to stop? At what point, as a community, do we have to look up and go, we tried to buy our way into the Big 12, and they said, we don't want to come there. And now the PGA Tour is telling us we don't want to come there. These are real things that are happening.
Yeah.
I want people to want to come here. I want this to be a destination.
But just because, I mean, I don't know. Do we know, like, the real reason why the PGA Tour is even leaving? I mean, I heard people saying it's because it's hot in August. Like, that's...
It's hot in Atlanta in August. They ain't leaving Atlanta.
I guess that's true.
They play golf in hot places all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't leaving Atlanta. It's hot.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's awesome that once a year, every year, some of the best athletes in the world in their chosen sport, most of the best athletes in the world in their chosen sport, come here, celebrate that hospital, celebrate our city, celebrate that golf course, and all eyes are on this. There's just no way to be flipping through network television and not see commercials. And whatever you think about Memphis, in that week, it looks amazing. Those kids, that hospital, that golf course, it looks incredible. It's just not going to be the same anymore. Just like basically, or at least a lot of the things we have just aren't the same anymore. We got too many things that aren't the same anymore. The University of Memphis conference affiliation, Memphis Redbirds ballpark, and now our annual golf tournament. I hope the future is bright, but today's a tough day to wrap your head around that. I'll see if Bernie can cheer us up next.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Whole city turns up. Where the best belong. Never love. Yeah, never love. 901 to the world. Let them know we gotta never love. Yeah, never love. Bluff City show out. Gotta never love. Never love. Let them know we gotta never love.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Everybody says about you, they're like, he wins at every level, right? He won in high school, he won in AAU, he won in college. Just explain to me how. Like, what is winning basketball?
I mean, I think it's just showing up every day. You know, I don't cheat the game. I show up at work, I have high energy, great coaching. First and foremost, I've always been surrounded by great coaches and players who really want to buy in and win. People talk about my winning, but you can't do that without a team.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are on their way to a new era, and now's the perfect time to buy in and secure your seat to witness history. With the 2026-27 half-season tickets, you can see the future take shape in real time. With a talented draft class joining our young core and starting this season, half-season ticket holders can own the moments with all new MVP benefit, including inside access to exclusive events, perks that match your passion, and rewards that take your fan experience to the next level. More information, visit grizzlies.com/tickets or just call 901-888-HOOP or grizzlies.com/tickets.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented inside the Built Ford Tough studio. On Wednesdays, Chris Vernon.
Oh, you out of sorts? You ain't even done a show in so long.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've talked into a microphone, but I'm here now.
They say you're the new John Morant. They say you're the new John Morant. This man can't do 7 shows in a row.
I did.
He can't do 7 shows in a row.
I was actually talking to Kelly about it because, like, I've been on a run since the NBA. This is the NBA draft, which was like late June. This is my schedule.
We need to go to the chart, Bennett. How many times has he done 7 shows in a row?
Here's the thing. So I had NBA draft in New York. Yep. Came back, immediately went to San Diego, which was a trip that my oldest son planned. He was like, these are the dates. So I was just, it didn't have nothing to do with me. Then it was golf trip. No, then it was Las Vegas Summer League. Yep. I didn't schedule that. That's just had to be there. Then it was golf trip. Our buddy Brian Anderson scheduled that around the Mets. And then it was this wedding. Yep. So I had these things like back to back to back to back. And I don't think I scheduled any of them. So I just been gone the whole time. But I excuse myself of most responsibility. But I'm back now, and it's good to be back now. How you been? You been all right?
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. You got a hell of a day to have the guy running the golf tournament.
Oh, my God. I've been waiting on that email all morning.
I met him. For the first time a couple of days ago. He's a super nice guy, but I mean, he's in a tough spot today.
I mean, I was waiting for the email to come and be like, hey, yeah, okay, we're not going to be able to do that today or something, but I think it's still on.
Well, I think he's doing like, I want to say it's like Channel 3 or something, maybe this morning. He's doing one of those shows downtown, so he's going to be down around here. But I mean,
it's fine. Like, we'll just talk through it. But it's like this is not good. There's no way to say this is good or even it's bad. It's bad. This is a bad thing.
Yeah, and you know what? I know you tried to make it about there is a big picture of like Memphis, and obviously we've got still a lot of work to be done in order to be properly proud of our city and want everybody to want to be here and love the city as much as we do. That being said, I mean, this is about FedEx, bro, and that is true of virtually everything in this town, including the arena that sits next to us, including Memphis Athletics, including Ole Miss Athletics. I mean, you think about almost everything in this town, in some ways, usually has a very clear, or at least partially clear, connection to FedEx. Their contract runs out. I mean, bro, the only reason we had an amazing golf tournament here is because this is the home of Federal Express. Make that clear. They would never in a bazillion years have a playoff event
in Memphis, Tennessee.
When it's
100,000 degrees.
Yes.
I got that. Here's my
I mean, their contract runs out.
I hear all that. Here's my concern, is that for most of our lives, and I'm not trying to come back after being out of town for a week and be like, and everything sucks. Like I had a whole nother show planned. My concern is that for most of our lives, whatever we had, and it was like, yeah, okay, yeah, we probably only had that because of FedEx, but we had that because of FedEx. And now we're getting to a point where even FedEx can't keep the signature golf tournament here.
No. They don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, this is not Memphis. This is the FedEx contract with golf. We will see what they continue or not with the PGA. But this isn't like FedEx Memphis. This is FedEx, the FedEx Cup. That was a massive, huge sponsorship of which they were a part of. They may just get out of the golf business on that level.
Let's make sure we're talking about the same thing here. Yeah. My understanding here is that if there was a way for FedEx to keep a signature event at TPC Southwind, FedEx wanted to do that.
Of course, Gary, but if it's not the FedEx Cup anymore.
Well, that's what I'm trying. This is my point. Even FedEx can't keep the signature event. But
they would if they were still sponsoring it. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I'm saying. They would if the PGA Tour would allow them. It feels like for the first time in a long time, the PGA Tour said, FedEx, we love you, appreciate everything you've done, but Memphis ain't it no more.
That would be fine if they were if it's still going to be the FedEx Cup last year. Then you would have a point. If it's not the FedEx Cup, all right, Gary, the FedEx Cup is all encompassing.
I got you.
That's everything in golf, right? So they spend an absolute fortune sponsoring that.
Understood.
Right?
Sure.
That contract runs out.
Sure.
Okay. So this is not about like FedEx can't bring this to Memphis anymore.
Is this your argument? Because here's what I believe. I believe FedEx has made it very clear to the PGA Tour, we want a signature event, a big-time event at TPC Southwind. And the PGA Tour is saying no.
You think they would lose the FedEx sponsorship over not having a tournament in Memphis? That's crazy.
Then why are we not having a tournament in Memphis?
Because the contract runs out.
Then you can renew the contract like they have every other time.
They don't want to.
Who doesn't want to be in Memphis?
No. Bro, am I talking crazy here, Bennett?
This is what it sounds like you're trying to say. FedEx decided we just want out of the golf business.
Right.
That's not the way I understand it. FedEx wants out of the minor league golf business.
No, if it's not the FedEx Cup anymore, they sponsor all of it. They sponsor all of it, Gary. That's not Memphis. That's everything. If they come back and FedEx is a massive sponsor of the PGA and Memphis doesn't have a tournament, then it's about Memphis.
No, here's my understanding. FedEx would continue to sponsor the PGA Tour in some form with a signature event in Memphis, and FedEx, by its own statement, is, quote, disappointed.
Well,
FedEx is disappointed.
Well, of course they are.
Because FedEx isn't getting what it wants, which is a signature event in Memphis. That's why it's disappointing.
Because they're not, but they would if they were sponsoring the whole thing. It is a contract with the PGA, not for the Memphis tournament, for everything. It is called the FedEx Cup.
You can keep saying that 100,000 times. It's never going to make sense relative to what I'm saying. I'm saying FedEx as a company, regardless of what contract ran out or not, contracts run out all the time. And then FedEx stands up and says, we would still love to be in the PGA Tour business. We want Roy McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler coming to Memphis.
And what I am telling you
is that the PGA Tour said we're not doing that anymore.
Because they're not spending the money on everything.
Jesus Christ.
What are you talking about? Are you this dense? If you're not spending the money on
I'm telling you they would spend the money. FedEx would spend the money to have a signature event in Memphis if the PGA Tour would bring one here. That's why FedEx is disappointed. The PGA Tour is not saying they're disappointed. FedEx won't spend the money. FedEx is saying we're disappointed. We've lost what we have.
They're not going to give them a tournament in Memphis just for sponsoring Memphis.
I'm saying FedEx would do whatever it had to do, in theory, to keep what we have. And right now the PGA Tour is...
they're obviously not, because their contract is running out, Gary. Is FedEx going to be a major sponsor of the PGA next year?
I believe FedEx... No, because next year, yes. The next year, no.
Right.
Because they're taking the thing... This is what... Why would FedEx say they're disappointed?
Because they want to have the tournament in Memphis.
So why isn't the tournament going to be in Memphis?
Because
the PGA Tour is not just taking it from us.
Because FedEx is no longer the title sponsor.
If FedEx wanted...
They're not the title sponsor, Gary.
If the PGA Tour was willing to have a signature event at TPC Southwind, I believe FedEx would pay that price. Whatever the price. I believe that. Just like they do it for the university. They'll do it for the University of Memphis to get into the Big 12. They'll do it for the Grizzlies to get an NBA franchise here.
They would, but that's not a possibility for an individual tournament.
FedEx, because anything's a possibility for FedEx. I'm saying, I'm telling you this. This is what I believe. FedEx has made it clear to the PGA Tour, we want a signature. We want Roy McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler at TPC Southwind annually. What do we need to do to make this happen? And here's what the PGA Tour told FedEx. We're not doing that anymore.
Right, because once upon a time, you wouldn't piss off your title sponsor. You would give them what they wanted. I don't know how that doesn't make sense to you.
I don't know.
That's why we got the tournament in the first place.
Nobody is arguing the only reason we ever had a big...
It's because they're the title sponsor, not because they sponsor the Memphis one. They sponsor all of it.
I don't...
And so they say, hey, if our title sponsor wants this, we're going to acquiesce to that.
I don't understand what you... Tell me what part of this you don't believe. Do you believe that FedEx made it clear to the PGA Tour, we want Roy McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler and the best of the best every year? What do we need to do it? You don't think they did that? We don't want to lose Scottie and Roy.
Okay,
what do we need to do?
The answer was...
And the PGA Tour said to them what?
You're our title sponsor that sponsors the entire FedEx Cup. Are you going to continue doing that?
We will do what we have to do to keep Roy McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler in Memphis.
They're not going to sponsor the whole thing just to get a tournament in Memphis. They're not. If they're out of that business,
I believe FedEx would do what it had to do to keep Roy McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler in Memphis.
They just don't want to do that. They don't. The FedEx Cup stinks.
Then why are they disappointed? FedEx said they're disappointed. Why?
Because of course they want to have a tournament in Memphis. Of course they do. But they're not willing to become the title sponsor of the entire tour to do it.
First, I've never once said they're willing to be the total. I've said
that's what they are.
I'm saying they're willing to do what they have to do. I don't believe FedEx is unwilling to do what it has to do to keep Roy McIlroy here. Do you believe that?
Yes.
What are you basing that on? What are you basing the idea that FedEx is unwilling to do what it has to do? What are you basing that on?
Independent thought process. I am saying if the cost is being the title sponsor of the PGA.
I'm saying FedEx would
continue to be the title sponsor of the PGA if it meant they could get a tournament here.
This is what I believe. FedEx would look at the PGA Tour and say, tell us what we need to do. And the PGA Tour seems like they don't want to be here anymore.
They say, be the title sponsor again.
I don't even know that they said that.
No.
Do you know they said that?
Yes, bro, they're not the title. They're not going to be the title sponsor anymore. The only reason we got it is because they were the title sponsor. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. They get what they want when they're the title sponsor.
You can keep saying the same thing over and over again.
And you don't get what you want when you're not.
Here's what you can keep saying that. Here's what I'm asking you a very basic question. Here's what I believe. I believe FedEx looked at the PGA Tour and said, what do we need to do to keep Roy and Scottie here? We'll do it. Do you disagree with that?
Yes.
You don't think FedEx looked at the PGA Tour and said, we want to keep a signature event, tell us what we need to do?
And I'm telling you what the answer is. I'm telling you what the answer is. You just won't accept it. They don't want to be the title sponsor of all of it. They're no longer going to be. It's no longer going to be the FedEx Cup. And guess what else? If it's the Barnes & Noble Cup, guess who's going to have a tournament? Wherever Barnes & Noble wants them to have a tournament. Like, that's the way this works.
If
they're the title sponsor.
I don't know how to get around.
Of course they're taking care of FedEx.
I don't know what you can't wrap your head. The PGA Tour has decided
we no longer want to send our best golfers to Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
And that is a bad thing for Memphis, Tennessee.
Of course it is.
So what are we arguing about?
I'm telling you, the reason that we're losing the tournament is because FedEx has that kind of juice with the PGA, and frankly, that's the only reason Why do you think they all of a sudden got a good tournament here?
I don't. You keep saying the same shit over and over again.
It used to be John Cook and Dickhead Malone, and then it was Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy.
Because the FedEx made it a signature event.
Right. Why did they get it?
I'm saying FedEx would continue to make it a signature event, and the PGA Tour doesn't want it to be anymore. That's what it looks like to me.
If the cost is being the title sponsor, they're not going to do it.
FedEx has forever done everything they need to do for Memphis. They do anything for the Grizzlies. They do anything for the University of Memphis. They do anything for Ole Miss. You think FedEx, after all these years, just decided we're unwilling to work with the PGA Tour anymore? No. Or do you think it's more like the PGA Tour said, we don't want to be here anymore? I just think they're no longer
going to be the FedEx Cup sponsor. That's it. And they won't be. They won't be. The reason the FedEx Cup was in Memphis was because FedEx was the title sponsor.
Okay,
let me
ask you this question. Why do you
You're a smart guy, too.
Why do you think we're not going to have the best golfers in the world here in 2 years?
Because FedEx is no longer the sponsor of the FedEx Cup.
Okay, is it a FedEx decision or a PGA Tour decision? Who made that decision? Who makes that call ultimately?
Well, I think it's dual.
Here's what I believe.
They're not going to keep. Why do you think it's here next year?
I don't know what you.
Why do you think?
We might really need you to come in here and translate this. They made the schedule
for next year. Why?
I don't understand what you're asking me, other than something we've already talked about.
Okay, the reason they're here next year, because it's not over after this year.
Because it's still under contract with FedEx. Correct. We know this. We've established this. This is
right.
Why do you think it's not going to be a signature event in 2028? Because FedEx said we want out the golf business, or because the PGA Tour said we want out the Memphis business? Which one you think's true?
I think probably both are true.
I think it's the other.
But more importantly, because as I started, when we first started this, the only reason we had it in the first place, when it's 115 here, this is not the market that you would choose. We only had it ever because of FedEx.
Okay, but we did have it because of FedEx, and now we can't have it, even with FedEx. Now we can't have it.
Because they're no longer the title sponsor. The only reason we got it.
You have said
that's the only reason it got good.
You've said it 40 times, bro. I got it. I understand. I've agreed with that point.
FedEx sponsored it before.
I'm not. Hey, it is not a mystery why we had it. We all understand that. I think even Bennett understands why we had it. We all understand why we had it. I'm asking you, why do you think we ain't gonna have it anymore? That's the question.
Because it's not the FedEx Cup.
Do you think if the PGA?
I think the only reason we had it is because it's the FedEx Cup. That's it.
Here's what I believe for the 10th time.
And there's not going to be a FedEx Cup.
I believe that FedEx would do what it needs to do to keep this here if it was possible to do it. And it seems like the PGA Tour, for the first time in a long time, has told FedEx, we love you, we love all your money, but we don't want to be there anymore. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like we have been divorced here.
I mean,
it feels like you're trying to say FedEx decided we don't want to be the FedEx playoff and everything else.
I'm just saying that's the only reason we had it in the first place.
For the 402nd time, I got it. I know why I'm asking you, why do you think we're losing it?
And I believe that if FedEx was still the sponsor of the FedEx Cup, and I don't blame them for not, that's a bigger decision than just what affects their hometown. This is like, do I sponsor Memphis or do I sponsor the whole Big 12? You know what I mean? And they decided that, and I think that's probably a portion of this too, right? They are going to allocate their money to wherever they allocate their money.
I'm saying they would allocate their money towards the PGA Tour if they thought they could have Roy McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler here in 2028, and they were told they can't.
Not if they didn't think that sponsoring the entire thing was worth having the tournament in Memphis. You understand? You know what I mean? Because that is a massive contract now.
I do not believe this. I don't believe the PGA Tour said Memphis.
You think they would lose their title sponsor over not having a tournament in Memphis?
Here's what I believe.
Really?
Here's what I believe. I'm about to tell you what I believe since you asked. Here's what I believe. I believe
that's the better question.
I believe that the PGA Tour would have told FedEx, here's what we need you to do to make sure, hey, we want to stay. We love Memphis. We love that hospital. We've made it a signature event. We love everything about it. We want to continue to do it. And here's FedEx, what we need you to do to continue to make it happen. I think FedEx would have done it. That's what I believe.
You think, no.
Because they do it with everything else.
Do you think the PGA, if they said, hey, if you're still the title sponsor of this, that's what
you get caught up on words like title sponsor. I'm just saying there's a money amount that FedEx has always been able, or at least for a long time, been able to deliver the best of the best to Memphis, and that we passed that point.
No, we cannot get that for an individual tournament for sure. We can't.
Yeah. FedEx.
You got to sponsor the whole friggin' thing if you want to get a tournament in Memphis.
I've told you, we agree. The only reason we ever had nice things at the golf tournament is because of FedEx. What the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like FedEx is still willing to try to get us the nice things with the golf tournament.
You think they would continue to be the biggest sponsor in golf?
You keep saying words like that. Those aren't the words I'm using. I'm saying FedEx would. I think if the PGA Tour said, if you do this, we can keep it there, and then I think FedEx.
And that's when they would say no.
I think FedEx
we're not
going to
be your biggest sponsor just to get a tournament in Memphis. And I understand that. They did it for a long time.
Not just a tournament, but a signature. I think FedEx would do what it needs to do to keep the golf tournament what it was if it could. I think, to me, that's the concerning part, is that even now, FedEx can't save us.
Well, this guy is going to, they want bigger markets. There's no way around that.
Well, that's not a FedEx problem. That's a Memphis problem.
I know, but and what I would say is, like, this, what would you say, 19 it started?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. I mean, they were trying to do right by FedEx. Mm-hmm. And I do think there's a time where if you're not the biggest sponsor of the PGA anymore, they don't care about doing right about you. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
these other places are losing theirs. Rocket Mortgage just had their last tournament. 3M's gonna have their last. I mean, like, we're not the only one. We're not the only one. There's a bunch of these tournaments that are gone now that have been in. Now we probably have the longest running with professional golf, but I mean, a lot of these are shutting down now.
I got that. I'm just saying I liked it better when I could walk around that golf course, walk around the city, sit in lunch, and people would say stuff like this. FedEx is always going to take care of this. It's fine. FedEx, we're always going to be fine out here because FedEx has got to. I liked it better when there was comfort and FedEx can save us. I think today FedEx can't save us.
I think that's the other thing. And the other thing is twofold. I think one of the things that really hurt, and you can blame Phil Mickelson and Greg Norman or whoever if you want. You know, they were a charitable institution for all those years.
Yeah.
So a lot of these tournaments had charities associated with them, and ours was the biggest and the best of those, of the charities that were associated with the tournament.
And now they have to push at those big purses.
There's none of them.
Right.
Like that, no, because now they're a business.
Yeah.
You're right? And so that was an unbelievable deal to have, right? Oh, and you have St. Jude there. And that's just not the business of. It's no longer. In fact, I believe.
It's easy to have a tournament in Memphis.
I think we're the only one with a charity in its name still.
Right.
Which is unbelievable.
But like when the purses were more manageable, you could put them in small markets, wherever, whatever. When you got to have $20 million purses, like it's a business.
Well, it was a write-off.
Yeah.
And it was a great write-off to do it in conjunction with St. Jude. They can no longer write that off. So now this is a for-profit deal, and it's like, jeez.
It just stinks.
No, it stinks. It's awful. I filmed a video out there yesterday. That course is unbelievable right now. I know so many people are so excited about it, and, you know, it's unfortunate with the way they're breaking it up because, you know, part of that is obviously the for-profit now, but, I mean, the way they're breaking it up where it's like, what is it, 120? I think it's 120 of the best are going to be on that Champion Series and then kind of everybody else. And they've already had their best player pop that one.
That's
I know
right.
you were where Rory McIlroy calls it glorified corn fair.
Right.
It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's
Sucks.
it's a AAA tournament. That's what it will be.
You do wonder on the FedEx side, like how much of that is going to be allocated, and if it's even a possibility for us to. Right? When all this conference league, you saw they tried to pony up big time the last time. And certainly, it's not zero sum. It's not like you can either do this or this. But I do think by and large, Memphians, if they were saying like, hey, you have a chance to sponsor golf or you have a spot, you know what I mean? You have a chance to help Memphis. Okay.
Well, that is the thing. That is the thing. That is the thing. And then we'll leave it here. I'm tired of arguing with you anyway. FedEx was deliberate in their statement. We will continue to find new creative ways to invest in Memphis.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what it is.
Well, but what that sounded like was investing in the PGA Tour right now is no longer investing in Memphis the way we want to.
Sure.
So we might spend our money somewhere else. And I can appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, it just hammers home the point that we're losing something.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, and again, luckily, we're not losing it for 2 years.
There you go.
Right? So, I mean, we've got it this year, and we've got it next year. And so I think obviously we could try to make the most of it, and then who knows? It would be awful if we didn't have anything, but I mean, obviously, like, you're either, it's much like college athletics, right? You're either in or out.
Yeah.
And that story this morning.
It's just another one we're out.
Basically just saying you're out.
It's another one we're out.
No,
that's it. That's my larger point. Is like I like being in. I want to be in the Big 12, and I want to go watch Roy McIlroy.
Well,
that's what I want.
We got to count on FedEx getting into a bigger conference. They tried already.
Well, that's the main point.
That'll be their next thing.
FedEx used to make things happen.
Oh yeah,
and it's becoming harder to make things happen for us. That's my main point.
Super hard because they hell, we should have gotten in the Big 12 over that.
Yeah.
We said we wouldn't take any money.
We said everything.
And these bastards have a damn Monster Energy drink patch now. And it's like, bro, you could have had 50 times that amount of money with us not taking any revenue for 5 years. And even in our contract, it said you could kick us out if you didn't think we brought something to the table.
And you know what they said? They said, nah, never.
That's horrible.
That is horrible. Bro, I went to Big 12 spring meetings. I was with all of these people a couple months ago. I'm not quoting anybody. I'm gathering everything I heard, and here is summarize everything you heard, and now say, why wouldn't they just take Memphis's money and just take it? Here's the summary. We just don't want to come there. And it breaks my heart to hear that.
Yeah.
But that's the summary. We just don't want to come there.
Well, especially because when I'm looking at the 31 teams that have a chance at going to the playoff or whatever, and a lot of our peers are listed in that. Like, I'm talking like Houston, Cincinnati, like that kind of crap.
Former
and
peers.
It's like, God bless.
Former peers.
Yeah, UCF, like these kind of teams. And it's like, geez Louise.
Yeah.
And the only difference with them, we were better than them.
Yeah.
We were beating them. Mike Norvell was busting their ass.
Yeah.
And now they're in a way better spot.
Just so anybody thinks I ain't ever working, I'm with these people face to face at these meetings. You know what I'm telling them? I told this to a sitting Big 12 athletic director. I said, the thing you guys miss is about Memphis is that people in Memphis care about Memphis. You ever gave them that Big 12 logo, and it looks just like a Big 12 program in every way.
Yep.
You just got to give them, you just got to let them in the door. That's the thing you guys don't get. Houston don't matter in Houston. Memphis matters in Memphis, and you guys have never understood that.
Right, South Florida, all these,
and then they just go,
UCF.
They go, oh yeah, you want to let's get another drink, and then they just talk just talk through it. But that's what it is. It breaks my heart to have those conversations.
Well, especially because we like FedEx really like
FedEx
and AutoZone.
They were
everybody.
They were all
everybody.
And
we said we wouldn't even take any money.
And you can by the time you have to start paying us, if you just decide you don't want to, just kick us out.
Yeah.
And it was like, nah. It sucks.
It's like the one. It's like you always use the neighborhood analogy. It's like we moved into the neighborhood and we were like, you know what, we'll pay everybody's homeowners association bill, and then if you don't like us, if you think we're bad neighbors, in 5 years you can kick us out. Oh yeah. Also, we'll give you $500 million or whatever it was. $250 million.
That's my bottom line on all
they
this.
They really just don't want you there.
That's my bottom line.
They're like, we don't care what the deal is. We just don't want you.
That's my bottom line.
No,
there's too many of those.
We're tired of getting rejected.
I'm tired of being rejected. I'm tired of dealing. I don't deal with rejection well.
It's so annoying.
This dates back to my childhood. I've never dealt with rejection well. So this is tough for me.
It's super annoying.
This is tough for me.
Somebody love us.
I just want to be loved. That's the thing.
We got good plays, man.
I just want to be
good
wanted.
People.
We got good people.
We'll support you.
I just want to be wanted.
That's it. Love us, we'll love you back.
That's what we always say it.
Shit, I'll be wearing Big 12 crap. You know what I mean?
I get a Brett Yormark tattoo. Whatever I got to do.
Brett Yormark.
All right, I got to go. All right, I'll see you later. Go argue with somebody else. I ain't got time for this today. All right, I didn't expect to come back home and just fight with you all day.
He walked into hell, didn't he? Man.
I didn't expect to come back and fight with you.
Welcome to hell, bitch.
When we come back, the Protect College Sports Act continues to be in the news. It was popping every day I was not here. I got thoughts on it. I'll share some of them with you next.
Pressure-packed moment in sports, hands down, has to be shootout in the World Cup. Because I am a casual fan of the beautiful game called football. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to throw up for all of these teams, for every kick.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
What do you bring to the table? Like, you want people to describe Kareem Lopez, the basketball player. What do you want to hear?
I feel like I'm just a winning player, you know, someone that's going to contribute to winning, a competitor, you know, a high IQ player, you know, someone that's going to play the right way. And yeah, like I said, like the first thing I said, just contribute to winning.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are on their way to a new era, and now's the perfect time to buy in and secure your seat to witness history. With the 2026-27 half-season tickets, you can see the future take shape in real time. With a talented draft class joining our young core and starting this season, half-season ticket holders can own the moments with all new MVP benefits, including inside access to exclusive events, perks that match your passion, and rewards that take your fan experience to the next level. More information, visit grizzlies.com/tickets or just call 901-888-HOOP or grizzlies.com/tickets.
Is the executive director of the FedEx St. Jude Championship, going to be out at TPC Southwind next week. He'll be in studio with me in about, let's call it 25 minutes or so. A lot of stuff to talk about with him. Right now, though, let's do 5 more things.
Number 1.
The Protect College Sports Act continues to be in the news. How much time do you guys spend on that, if at all?
I mean, come on, dude. I'm hosting the show. You think I'm going to try to open on that and inform the people? I know who I am.
Okay, Bennett.
I know who I am.
I knew when I saw that tweet come across and said we open it on Spider-Man. I said, all right, Bennett is taking full control of the show.
Yeah, I know who I am.
Okay.
Well, that was the biggest story of the weekend. Don't get it twisted.
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
So when I left the country, this was a thing that was out there, but appeared to be a thing that was just not going to happen for one reason or another. The main one being that the SEC and the Big Ten were opposed. Simply put, if you got to get X amount of Senate votes and X amount of House votes to pass this bill, you ain't going to be able to do it without the SEC and the Big Ten being on board, because if you're a senator or a congressman or congresswoman in an SEC or Big Ten state, and the SEC and Big Ten aren't for this, and then you vote for it, well, then those fans come for you, and that's how you don't get re-election. So as long as the Big Ten and the SEC were against this, it just wasn't going anywhere. And then last Friday night, the Big Ten and SEC released a joint statement saying, with these adjustments here and there, we're in. You've got our support. At which point, it looks like you probably got enough votes to get it through the Senate, and then it goes to the House. And long story not so long, there's a real chance now that this is actually going to become federal law. And so I just sort of made a promise to myself while I'm on vacation, like, I'm not tweeting anything. I'm not pretending I don't ever look at my phone. I like to keep up with the news, but I'm not going to be involved in it. It was a time in my life where I felt like the story couldn't advance if I didn't weigh in on it. I'm old enough now to realize how silly and stupid that might have been. So everybody else can talk about it. I'll be back eventually. So here we are. But I stayed away from it while they're just sort of consuming it, watching it unfold. And I will say, if I'm being completely honest, there are some good things in there. Like coaches can't leave one school for another until after the season, so-called Lane Kiffin rule.
Love that.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's sensible to me. So I'm not going to be somebody who sits here and says, this is awful. It can't be. There are some good aspects to it that I could get behind. Put it to a vote, though, I'd vote no. Is it good for college athletics? I don't think so. Is it protecting college athletics? No. Because before you start arguing you need to protect college athletics, you got to tell me exactly what you're protecting it from. Record television contracts? Incredible TV ratings? Sold-out stadiums? It's funny, everybody acts like college athletics needs saving, except right now, literally right now, in the history of college athletics, coaches have never made more money. Players have never made more money. The television contracts have never been bigger, and the television ratings are off the charts. Can you imagine another industry that, quote, needs saving when things have never been better?
Right.
That's what so the whole premise is silly.
Mm-hmm.
We got to save college athletics. From what? The coaches are making more money than ever. Players are making more money than ever. The television networks, the contracts are bigger than they've ever been. In many ways, like on, spreadsheets, college athletics has never been stronger. This ain't about protecting college athletics. It's about protecting college administrators from overspending. The main thing it does here, the main thing I have an issue with, it puts caps on what players can make. Now, the caps are going to be really high, but I don't like any caps unless the players had a say in it. And right now, with this act, they still don't and never have. That's just fundamentally wrong. In no other sport where billions of dollars are moving around do the players not have a say. In the NBA, the players have a say. Yeah, there's a salary cap, but the players help set that. They collectively bargain that. Then it becomes agreed upon. Then that's how we operate. This is the way most sports work. In college athletics, we're still letting college administrators, conference commissioners, and politicians who are frankly mostly out of their depths on this particular subject. Maybe they can talk about the Strait of Hormuz better than I can talk about the Strait of Hormuz, although I don't think so. But they can't talk about this stuff better than people who have lived this stuff for 3 decades can. But they're all they're like in charge of it. All right? So they're a little out of their depths. I say that respectfully. Those are the people deciding this. These are the people setting these numbers. But the players have not been involved, and that's why yesterday you saw a group of former athletes, professional athletes, civil rights activists, women's rights activists, all coming out against this. Why? Not because there aren't some good things in the bill, but because the main thing that's wrong with the bill is that it's capping what student athletes can make without allowing them to have a say in the process. As long as that stays true, I would forever vote against it. But as we're sitting here right now on August 5th, it looks like if they can get it to the floor, it really might pass and become federal law. Whether it be a good thing for the University of Memphis or not is debatable, although I would argue more not good than good for conference realignment issues that we can get into another day. But when I left here, it looked like this was just dead, going nowhere, a big waste of time. And now it looks like it really might happen. Significant development in college athletics if they actually get it over the goal line.
Number 2.
Memphis and Grand Canyon have reportedly agreed to a home-and-home series going to start this December inside FedEx Forum. And I know that might not sound like much to you or most people because, like, Grand Canyon, what even league are they in? But I will tell you, of the, quote, mid-major basketball programs, that's one of the best now. Mm-hmm. And when Memphis goes and plays down there, it's an incredible atmosphere. Like, they really support that program.
Don't they have one of the Drew brothers?
Yeah, Bryce.
Bryce is the coach.
Who obviously hit the famous shot for Valpo once upon a time against Ole Miss. He's now the coach there, former Vanderbilt coach. And this is just the type of game I think Penny should be doing. And honestly, I think Bryce should be doing too. These are two programs that are caught in places they'd probably rather not be relative to conference affiliation. But they still have strong fan bases, people in their communities that care about it. So, hey, we'll come to FedEx Forum and, give you a game against a quality mid-major opponent. Then you can return the favor and our students will show up and it'll be great. So, it's not Memphis, Louisville. It's not Memphis, Tennessee. But if you're trying to pit two programs from outside of the power structure as currently constructed, this is among the better ones you can get.
Yeah, I mean, I love when they do this, when the athletic department, when Penny does this kind of scheduling. I praised them for the Utah State series. Like, you have to get creative with these non-conference games if you're the University of Memphis, and you have to be able to find an opponent like this that you can't guarantee that every season that Grand Canyon's going to be like in the mix and going to be an awesome team, right? But like the way that program's been going, like you said, you would assume that because of their level of care, that could potentially be a good-looking win for you on your resume.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I assume the conversation between Bryce and Penny or whoever put this game down together, it goes something like this. Hey, we think we're going to be pretty good. You think you're going to be pretty good. We could need a quad 2 game, somewhere in there. And so maybe we can be that for each other. Let's schedule that and see how it goes.
Yeah.
We both having a hard time scheduling the high majors. Let's schedule each other and try to help each other out. We both need help. Let's try to help each other. I like it.
I do too.
Looking forward to it.
Good stuff.
Number 3.
Jeffrey Simmons, Titans star. Kicked out of practice yesterday.
He is a star.
Second day in full pass. He's already fist fighting a teammate.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh said kicked him out of practice because that's our rule. You fight in a game, throw a punch, you get kicked out of a game. So if you throw a punch in practice, you get kicked out of practice. He went to a side field, still got all his work in. Robert Saleh said, I got brothers. We fight sometimes. That's all that was, brothers fighting. But this is the second time in 2 years that Jeffrey Simmons and the person he was fighting have gotten into a fist fight at practice. Is that concerned?
I believe it was J.C. Latham.
Why does he keep fighting J.C. Latham?
Well, I mean, hey, it's those guys are going at each other. And these, listen, I don't. First off, I love Big Jeff. My God, he is going to have such a huge year. I cannot wait to see him being coached by Robert Saleh. I'm so stoked about it. I saw some people that cover the Titans mention that these things would happen at least last season under the previous regime, and that it looked like that maybe they were losing a little bit of control. Like they were just letting it go, and maybe they were losing a little bit of control, and maybe that carried over into game days with, just, I'm not saying they don't respect their coach, but, you let somebody get away with something at practice, maybe you don't care as much on a game day. I'm just throwing that out there. I like that Robert Saleh setting a precedent. It sounds like this ain't going to end up being a big deal. And don't mess with Big Jeff.
How many times can you fight the same person in?
That is the last guy, by the way, in football. Now that Aaron Donald is not playing football, I think Jeffrey Simmons, and he might be back, I think Jeffrey Simmons might be the guy that
I would I haven't really seen Jeffrey Simmons fight was that one time. You know that one time.
Okay, long time ago.
We don't. Is it just unfair to bring that?
It is for sure unfair to bring that up.
I'm being serious. I ask this from a sincere place. Is it unfair to bring that up?
Absolutely.
Okay, I respect that.
Absolutely, because
genuinely, I respect
he has been nothing but a pro since he came into the league.
I'm okay with that. I take that little snide remark back. I take that back.
Yeah, he has been.
I wouldn't want somebody to judge me forever on something I did when I was 17 years old.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, and he's been nothing but a pro since he's come to the league. So stoked about Big Jeff. I would not want to mess with Big Jeff, but it sounds like they squashed it. By the way, have you noticed that I saw Devin post the video or repost the video. Cam Ward has dropped multiple dimes to Carnell Tate. And listen, when we drafted Carnell Tate, I was very excited. I was like, I know this team has a lot of needs. But obviously you're excited to get possibly the best receiver in the draft. And it looks like it might pay off. He's dropping dimes every day. All I'm seeing is Cam Ward. I think the kids are calling it seeds.
I love it when you do this. You get all excited.
Every year, man.
I know, every year. I do it too.
I love preseason NFL more than anybody in the world.
I love preseason baseball.
The sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Preseason baseball.
How can you not get excited?
Man, spring training. You know how exciting I was spring training?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw they said Cam threw a couple interceptions yesterday at practice. I didn't see that. All I saw was him dropping dimes with Carnell Tate. That's all I saw.
You preach to the choir about getting excited at preseason. I do it every baseball season, and then I just end up hating everything.
Yeah.
I hope you don't end up like me.
Yeah, listen, we're still. I'm not. We are still in a very much like the Grizzlies. This is a rebuild. This is a new era.
It's a new era.
Yeah.
Turn the page, moving forward.
Yes. And so I'm not going to sit here with like any kind of expectations or anything like that. I've told you that.
I don't want to
But am I going to get excited about Cam Ward dropping seeds to Carnell Tate? Yes, I'm absolutely going to get excited about that.
If you cannot get excited in August about your second-year quarterback, what is the point of even being a football fan?
That's right.
All right.
That's why the Browns do it every year.
The Browns do it every year. Our whole lives. Browns do it every year.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Good for you then.
Number 4.
Brock Lesnar says he's really retired this time. We believe this guy. I feel like he pulled my chain last time. I feel like he was pulling my chain. He took his boots off in the rain and walked down. They were like, and Brock Lesnar is retired.
You were out of the country, so I'm assuming you didn't get to consume SummerSlam, really.
I was out of the country.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what was happening. I'm so out.
Okay,
I'm so out the game.
So night 2 SummerSlam was awesome. It was really good. We talked a lot about that. Night 1, the big headlining match was, of course, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. It's in Minneapolis. Brock's from Minnesota. So big match, right? It's a trilogy match. It's in Hell in a Cell. I love Hell in a Cell. The match was terrible. The match was really bad.
Won?
Oba.
So why? So here's the thing. I don't even watch it anymore. I'm out the game.
Yeah.
Why? Because I heard somebody say, so you bring Brock Lesnar. So Femi kills him, and then he takes his boots off. He's like, I can't do this anymore.
Yes.
And then, but then they bring him back, and they make Femi take a loss. And people are like, why are you making him take a loss just to come back and retire Brock Lesnar again?
Right.
Shouldn't have made him take a loss. Is that a valid complaint?
It might be. It might be a valid complaint. And yes, you're right. Now that I'm thinking through this, because when you said that, you were like, he already did the pump fake on us. So I was like, what do you? He did put his boots in the middle of the ring.
That's why I don't know if I can trust this guy.
He might be full of it. I don't know if he's really retiring or not.
I don't know. I expect he probably.
Well, if this was like, if Vince was still in control of this thing, I would not believe it at all, because this would be one of those, if the ratings are down, you're going to make a phone call to Brock and like, hey, can I get you for a couple weeks? Like that.
Here's what I believe.
Now I don't know.
Here's what I believe. Someday we're going to sit here and you're going to say, hey, you hear Brock Lesnar's back? And I'll be like, no, but I always assumed he would be. That's how, we'll have that conversation someday.
I feel like I'm kind of feeling the same. I was real ready to sit here and be like, no, it's over, dude. But I'm not so sure, actually.
I don't know, but
he still looks amazing.
He does. He looks the way a wrestler's supposed to look.
About as good as you can get.
About as good as you can get.
Yeah.
That's good. I always thought that with Randy Orton, too. I always thought Randy Orton looks the way you're supposed to look.
Yeah, he's back, too. He interfered in the Cody Rhodes CM Punk match, so Randy's back.
All right. I'm going to try. I want to get back involved. I liked having that to look forward to every week, but I'm just
bad news for you.
What happened?
Because you know who our tribal chief's new rival is.
I know he beat Seth Rollins. Like I know.
Yeah, he did.
I know that.
But you know who came out on Raw and wanted to make a challenge to him? L.A. Knight.
Oh, I hate him. Like I just don't even care. Like I don't even care.
I know. When his music played, I was just like,
yeah, I don't care.
You gotta be kidding me.
I would like to. I would like to get back involved, but right now I'm out the game.
Yeah,
I'm out the game.
Number 5.
All right, so I had my first German wedding over the weekend.
But it wasn't in Germany.
It was in Spain.
Yes.
German wedding in Spain.
Okay.
Oh, buddy. 9-hour event.
The pictures and the videos looked great.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
It was really sweet.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Let me tell you a story.
It looked
from
like
that.
you were getting you were having a lot of fun, it looked like.
We got after it.
Yeah.
We definitely got after
Okay.
it. By the time I got home, I was ready to be home.
Yeah.
Even by the time I got back to the States, I was ready to be back in the States. It was just, it was an awesome trip, but it's time to get back home.
Gotcha.
For people who don't know, I think some people do, but I'm confident it ain't 100%. So, a long time ago, at this point, maybe 15, 16, 17 years ago, my wife was a high school teacher at South Haven High School. And we never signed up to have an exchange student. We wouldn't even, something we would ever even talk about. But my wife was a high school teacher, and she had heard a story about this little girl from Germany who was an exchange student, been placed with a family, and just had heard it wasn't going so well for whatever reasons. And so she came to me at one point, and she said, hey, this little girl, she's from Germany, and now she's at South Haven High School, and it doesn't seem like she's in a great situation, and like, I don't know, but I hear she's a sweet girl, and, you know, I just wonder, what would you think about maybe, like, you know, helping her? And I said, this was like winter time. And in my head, I swear, this doesn't speak well of me, but this was my thought process. I fly to New York every week till April. At this point, I'm gone half the time. If this is important to you, let's do it, because it won't matter to me that much at all. Just put her in the spare bedroom upstairs. I didn't think of it anything more than that. long story not so long, she moves in with us, and we just fall in love with her. You know, she's just the best. And she was with us, and she made a big impact on our family. And at that point, we only had Aiden. She had made a big impact on him. And I guess you never know if you're going to keep in touch with these people. I gather not everybody does, but we just have. And we've been back over there to see her multiple times. She's come back to see us multiple times. And a few years ago, she meets a guy named Philip. And, you know, that's just her latest boyfriend. And I think we went to Greece and met with them one time, and they came to New York and met with us, but they've been dating, and I could always tell he's a really sharp guy, right? And you start telling him, what do you do? And he's like, I work in this industry, and just a few years ago, like really like 2 years ago, he sold his company for a lot of money.
Okay.
Like NBA contract stuff.
Oh, nice.
And so they are now in their early 30s. Like if they wanted,
that explains the scenes. Like I said, I saw your pictures.
I don't want.
It looks nice.
I don't want to be pocket watching, but they're doing great.
Yeah.
I thought about this over the weekend. I don't think anybody would even know this. I would argue Diana at this point might be the second most successful South Haven High alum outside of John Grisham.
Did John Grisham go to South Haven?
Yeah, with my mom. Graduated high school with
Holy,
mom.
I didn't realize that.
John Grisham graduated with my mom, 1973, South Haven High School.
Okay.
So I put John Grisham 1, and then Diana really might be number 2 at this point.
Okay.
And I don't even know if anybody even knows she went to school there. She did it 1 year.
Yeah, somebody needs to get on that.
So they're great. And so they got married this weekend. And Kelly and I decided we're just going to make a trip out of this. And I started mapping out the best ways to try to get there without making a horrible travel day. So I said, we're going to wake up last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago. We're just going to fly to Boston. And we're not immediately going to then get on another plane. You never been to Boston? I told Kelly. I was like, you never been to Boston? She's like, I've never been to Boston.
I've never been to Boston.
Okay, I was like, let's just go to Boston.
I'd love
You
to
would
go to
love it.
Boston.
As a history major, you would love it.
I know. I want to go to Boston.
We had a blast in Boston.
You know what's weird about that is it's because I hate all of their teams, and so that's why I'm like, I never want to go there. But everybody says it's amazing.
We had so much fun.
Yeah.
Kelly, it was more Kelly than me. She was like, I want to get out and like do touristy stuff. So like next thing you know, I'm standing in front of Paul Revere's grave.
Nice.
You know, and like we just toured Boston, downtown Boston, had incredible meals, ate oysters.
Yeah.
Remember I told you I was unsure about oysters, but I decided
love
I'm good.
oysters. What, you love oysters?
I think I love oysters.
Yeah, man.
I'm an oyster eater now.
They look gross, but they're amazing.
I think that's what happened. They look gross, so I never tried them. And I was like, but I'm going to try them now. They say these are the best oysters in the world. I'm going to try them now. And I was like, I think I rock with oysters now.
Nice.
So you know, we just toured Boston. That was great. Spent a couple days there. Flew to Lisbon, Portugal. And that's where our other exchange student, Sylvia from Italy, that we had subsequent, she flew there and met us. And then I was like, we just learned so much about Boston. Let's go learn about Portugal. So we went out on the river in Portugal that feeds into the Atlantic Ocean, and we had a little tour guy. And I just realized, like, I don't know anything about anything. Like at one point, the tour guy, she said, well, you know about the earthquake? And I was like, oh yeah, of course. And I was like, I have no idea what this was talking about. Do you know anything about a Portugal earthquake? I'm not trying to embarrass you. I didn't know nothing about it. What I've learned is I don't really know anything, okay? I
don't think I do.
It's not my school's fault. My schools did their best. I just don't think I paid attention. So I don't know anything about anything other than like what I dive into now. And so I was like, yeah, I know about the earthquake, but I didn't know nothing about the earthquake. Apparently in 1755, on November 1st, they had just the worst earthquake in the world. And at that time, you don't know nothing about earthquakes. So people don't even know what's going on. But like Lisbon, the whole thing is just, it's the worst earthquake in the world. And then the river receded and the whole city's on fire because it was the day after Halloween. Everybody lights candles and the earthquake dumped all the candles over. So the whole city's on fire now. Then the river recedes and the people took that as a sign from God. God is giving us a way out from this city on fire. He's removed the water from the river. Now we just have to pass through.
Across.
Then comes the tsunami.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's a rough story.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was beautiful. They've rebuilt, they've rebuilt.
Oh, they've had a long time. Yeah.
But so anyway, I got to learn about Portugal, and then we went over to Majorca, Spain for the wedding. And I will tell you this, that could have been uncomfortable for us. We're the only non-Europeans there, I believe. It was a small, mostly intimate wedding. I'd put it at about 40 people total.
Okay.
And we're the only Americans there and the only non-Europeans there. And I would just tell you, people could not have been better at trying to make us feel comfortable. They'd be in their own little German conversations over here, but if we happened to drift into them, they'd immediately all switch to English, because just about everybody, particularly young people, are going to speak English. And so it was just, the ceremony was in German, so we had to get translations for that. But just people were accommodating. And more than that, like I tell people all the time, I always wanted a daughter, never had one. Hope for a granddaughter someday. But those girls are the closest things we have to them, right? And I don't ever use that word because I feel like it might be disrespectful to their fathers. They have fathers. I'm not their father. But I like to think of them as the closest thing I've ever had to a daughter. And just to see one of them, get married and just such a beautiful ceremony, and she's really found an awesome family. And being around her friends, it was mostly like her friends from high school. She's 34 now, and she's still best friends with the people she grew up with, which is not something I have too much of. Like, I don't keep in touch with people from way back as much as I'd like to or do. And yet she still has all of that, into her mid-30s. And so just it was a beautiful week. A little too long to be away from your boys, if I'm being honest. It's nice to be back here. But, man, the Germans, they know how to do a wedding. And the whole thing was just sweet. Like I said, I'm much too selfish, particularly in my young days, to ever be like, of course I'll bring another expense into our life, and it would have never been my idea. But I'm so glad that my wife brought that to us, and that I spoke at the wedding, and I just sort of made that point. This was, every once in a while, people come up to me and they'll be like, that was really great what you did for her, but it wasn't my idea. The truth is, I didn't even care. It was something my wife recognized we could do great for somebody else. Because I imagine when you're from Berlin, you come into America, you think of New York and LA, you don't expect to be in North Mississippi in a home that ain't great. And so my wife recognized maybe we can turn this bad experience into a good one. And like I said, at the wedding, I sort of made this point. It's not for me to say whether we did. I'll let other people say that. But I can tell you for certain what happened is that she made our experience better. She made our family better. She made our lives better and opened up our world in a way that I just wouldn't have been there this weekend if not for her. I wouldn't know these beautiful people we met, Christian, Helen, Sarah, Dilly. These are people that we'll keep in touch with now. And it's all because of that experience we shared so long ago. Really grateful we got to do that.
Awesome.
And look forward to going back. Be back in a second.
This Photoshop job of the college football 27 cover for this year is atrocious. Like, who made this? It's so bad.
This is the deluxe edition. So you have to pay extra to get Kurt Signetti on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're paying extra to get Kurt Signetti?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Stay on top of everything happening in the 901, the Mid-South, and beyond with Grind City Media's e-newsletter, bringing all the news and notes directly to your inbox. Lang's World, always by Lang Whitaker, touches on the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, while Michael Wallace's Grizzlies Insider brings you all the latest coverage and analysis around the Grizzlies and NBA. Don't miss a thing. Stay connected to the conversation and sign up to download the lowdown today at grindcitymedia.com.
When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
City turns up. Where the best belong. Never love. Shit, never love. 901 to the world, let them know we gotta never love. Yeah, never love. Bluff City show out, gotta never love. Never love. Shit, never love. Got soul, got heart, got pride, gotta never love. Yeah, never love. 901 to the world, let them know we gotta never love.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Show inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and Robert Miller is the executive director of the FedEx St. Jude Championship. And I just first off want to give you a lot of credit. I know this isn't the easiest day in the world for the executive director of the FedEx St. Jude Championship to be popping around town and talking. I really appreciate you being here. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing great. I mean, honestly, it's kind of easy for me. I'm the guy who gets to run the tournament this year. You know, I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff going on with the PGA Tour and the negotiations for the future and stuff like that. And you know, honestly, I'll let that happen at a high level. With me, I mean, being the executive director of the tournament this year, I'm just focused on making sure Memphis looks good this year.
And I want to focus on this year's tournament. It happens next week out at TPC Southwind. Yeah. I cannot wait to take my family back out there. We go every year and have the best time. 2028, 27 rather, going to be the same deal. But I feel like we do need to start with the big headline from this morning, and that is that the PGA Tour has confirmed, I believe at this point, that the tour stop in Memphis moving forward after next year is no longer going to be a signature event. I'll stop there because you know more about this than I do. What does that mean?
So it's not a signature, it's a playoff event.
Sure.
So like that's one of the big changes that we're making. So the PGA Tour is putting a lot of emphasis on switching the playoff event. Mm-hmm. They're also switching the whole model of the way the tour is being, kind of run and stuff like that. So as of right now, the only thing set in stone is, we're good for 26, we're good for 27, and then once we start 28, we just won't be a playoff event. Mm-hmm. Same thing, as Atlanta, the whole, playoffs, it's going to change. So, that's where the agreement is right now. It's kind of like, hey, the playoffs are going to change. 28, we're going to work on doing a new deal and how it's going to look with a new tournament. But, excited about the future of Memphis. I mean, just based off where I've been since 24 and kind of what we've built over the last couple of years. I mean, the fact we own TPC Southwind, we've been on just an absolute, rocket ship over the last couple of years, really growing this place. I mean, like, we've got a lot of good things going for us in Memphis. So pretty excited where it goes. But as of right now, I'm just focused on 26.
The concern, and I'm trying to keep this in simple terms for people who don't know all the ins and outs. The concern is that next week we're going to see Scottie Scheffler and Roy McIlroy. Yeah. Next year, in theory, we're going to see Scottie Scheffler and Roy McIlroy. After that, we might not. Yes. Is that a fair? And I just want to be fair. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, it's very fair. The biggest thing is like with the PGA Tour, I think they realize the significance of the Memphis market. I mean, you got to think next year will be the 70th PGA Tour event that we've had here. I mean, think about throughout the years of all the events going around in certain cities and the changes and stuff like that. To have that many events kind of happen in the city back to back to back is really big. So, I don't know what I don't know at this point, and so I wish I had an answer for you and kind of a crystal ball of what could happen. But at the same token, at this point, I just know this year and next, you have the top 70 golfers coming to Memphis. This is your time to go out and really and truly take advantage of that, be a part of something special, because honestly, when you have this level of competition coming to a city like this, it's unbelievable, because you got to think, even when they go to St. Louis after ours, that's only the top 50. When they get to Atlanta, that's only the top 30. I mean, you're literally, you have the top 70 golfers playing 4 days straight here, and it's the biggest name in golf going for one of the best trophies, the best championships in golf.
Let's talk about next week, because like I said, my favorite thing about the event, in addition to what it does for the hospital, obviously, is that it is one of the weeks where I can take my sons out to a place they're familiar with and tell them that's the best golfer in the world.
Absolutely.
That's a future, major winner. That's a former major winner. Yeah. And it's just like when Nikola Jokic comes through here, or Kevin Durant comes through, or Steph Curry, we get to have those same conversations. how exciting is it to be able to know that is, regardless of where we're headed, that is going to be the case next week? The best golfers in the world are going to be walking around like they have been.
It's an honor to be able to run the event.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for me and my team here in Memphis run, you know, Nikki Payne's big. She does all the run of show, and Ryan Seary, he's the guy who does all the build process. My sales team that's kind of stayed intact. I mean, we're Memphis-based. We live here. So we live and breathe Memphis to make sure we put on a heck of a show. And when you get the level of talent that's walking the grounds of Memphis, it's unheard of. So not only are we trying to put on a show for our players when they're coming to Memphis, we want to make sure them, their families, everybody has a great time. We're also trying to show that Southern hospitality to everybody that comes in from out of town, because not a lot of people realize this, but a lot of our hospitality buyers and a lot of people that come in, they're coming from outside of Tennessee. They're flying in. I mean, I have my team right now working with people out of Chicago, New York. I mean, Ireland, Korea. I mean, you name it. There's people coming from all over the world here to this city to come enjoy a tournament, which puts on a huge spotlight for the city of Memphis. I mean, it not only does it bring, you know, a big spotlight, but it also brings an economic impact that's out of this world. I mean, you know, it's called the Super Bowl of the Mid-South for a reason, and I mean, it's an honor to be able to lead this charge.
So, Joe was running it before.
Yes.
Now you're here.
Yep.
Whether it's a professional basketball franchise, baseball franchise, anything, somebody comes in, takes over, they want to put their fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
What are your fingerprints changing?
Well, the big thing about my fingerprints is Joe and I were in lockstep in a lot of things.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that was one of the things. So I mean, as you know, my sports career started off in the NBA, went to the NHL. Before this, I was the president of a hockey team, a small market hockey team. You know, for me to take a jump from being the president of a team to come here to be a director of sales, I had to understand the leadership of it and what was going on, who I was going to work for. Joe Tomac and I were very much in lockstep in what we kind of see as far, and that's one of the easy reasons that it was easy for him to make that jump and go to Australia, which wasn't an easy jump by any means. I mean, it's huge that he's in Australia running the President's Cup for 2028. But to understand where we were in 25 and how good we did as a unit together, 26 is not going to change that much from our strategy. I mean, we were in lockstep with our strategy. One of the big changes that we saw last year, which Joe was honestly a part of, you know, our Grounds Plus model. I mean, so if you look at the PGA Tour, we put a ton of emphasis in our Net Promoter Score. Our Net Promoter Score is literally real fan time feedback. I mean, it's people when it's 92 degrees, 95 degrees, 100 degrees, they're hot, they're giving us feedback of their goods, bad, and ugly. Our Net Promoter Score was 71 last year. Year before it was 73. To put that in perspective, last year, Players Championship, the 5th major, was 68. Right. We had the highest Net Promoter Score on the PGA Tour last year, which was massive. When you take that into consideration, what can you look at to help enhance? The fan feedback that we got last year was access to water and food prices. Those were the two things we got killed on. And so Joe, I, Nikki Payne, all of us got together, and we really and truly tried to dive in with our partners, our food partners, our vendors, everything like that, and said, hey, how can we make something special for Memphis? And so we were able to come up with Grounds Plus this year. So now when you buy a ticket, you actually get concession food and non-alcoholic beverage included in the ticket deal.
Okay.
The big thing is when you look at somewhere like a Ryder Cup, I mean, those tickets were like $400, something like that. We looked at everybody and said, you can't do that to Memphis. I can't go from a $75 ticket to a $400 ticket. I can't do that. We were able to work with our partners. Our ticket price is $99.
Right.
So for $99, you can come out and watch the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs, a playoff event, an all-inclusive ticket. And it's unheard of to have something like that to be able to offer. But the best thing about you is when you're bringing your kids.
There you go.
The kids, they get in free.
That's right.
So we worked with the First Tee of Memphis. The First Tee of Memphis is actually sponsoring this. So now every kid 15 and under gets to come to the tournament for free with the purchase of an adult ticket.
And I don't think you can overstate the importance of that, because people always talk about sporting events as like this hypothetical family of four.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, you want to take a family of four to an NFL game or to an MLB game or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, family of four, that typically means 4 tickets.
Yeah.
Family of 4 to the FedEx St. Jude Championship, you can do that with 2 tickets because the kids 15 and under getting in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And you can have them bring 2 of their friends.
There you go.
I mean, you can literally get 2 parents in, they can bring 4 kids, and it's 6 people in for $200.
Right.
And everybody gets water, Powerade, soda, but they also get food taken care of. And the concession food is not just, it's not, we're not just throwing like like the worst stuff out there. I mean, you get a chance of a burger, a hot dog, sausage, but you also get a turkey wrap. You also get a salad. So we're trying to.
We also have some of our best chefs out there, like Andy and Michael are out there.
Well, no, you have to pay for that. No, you go get it.
But I mean, like it's there if you want it.
Yes, absolutely. We got Pronto Pup still.
Yeah.
We got Commissary Barbecue. I mean, so we still have a lot of the fan favorites out there and things like that. But the biggest thing is like you're out there, it's hot. You don't have to go and buy an $8 bottle of water.
Right.
You can go up and grab a bottle of Dasani and it's taken care of. I mean, you make 4 or 5 trips throughout the day,
right.
you're set. I mean, so it's something we wanted to make sure that we did for the city of Memphis. We really and truly, just like the Grizzlies are Memphis's basketball team. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I had to learn. Trust me, I'm a New Orleans Pelicans guy.
Okay.
I mean, I cut my teeth with the New Orleans Hornets. I went to Oklahoma City with them for the New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets. Went back to New Orleans like after Hurricane Katrina. When I moved here, I wasn't the biggest Grizzlies guy. I mean, like y'all are conference opponents. I mean, y'all are close. I mean, things like that. But when you start to go to a Grizzlies game and you go to your first one, you see the house band play and you see like the people, how they are and how they react and just people like how they interact with each other and stuff like that. The city treats this team special. You know what I mean? And so that's what we want is this golf tournament. We really and truly want the citizens of Memphis to look at it. It's like, hey, this is our golf tournament. And that's why we worked on the ticket price so hard to make sure that we made it affordable for people to come out because we want golf fans to bring their kids out. I want people that have never been to a golf tournament before to realize they can come out and do it for a decent cost.
That's the point I try to make to my friends who are non-golfers. Obviously, it's an easy sell for golf fans, right? Yeah. It's you watch golf every weekend. Now it's here. It's in your hometown. Go see that. That's easy. How do you convince people who don't care about golf, who don't care about Roy McIlroy, who might not know who Justin Thomas is? Yeah. The sell from my perspective has always been, you don't have to watch golf.
Yeah.
Do you like to be outside among beautiful flowers and trees and people? Because that's all out there too. Every year we set up right there by 14.
Yes.
The Birdies and Bubbles place,
which has been awesome.
Plenty of shade.
Yeah.
Sit down. There's chairs out there. There's food out there. There's drinks out there. There's excitement out there. You do not have to care about golf to have a great time at the golf tournament, just like you don't have to care about Ole Miss football to have a great time, in the Grove before and after a football game. It's the same premise.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at it too, is like, you mentioned 14, great point to bring up. A lot of people that buy grounds tickets from us, they always look at us like there's nowhere for us to go. There's tons of places for grounds people to go. Yeah. I mean, the dock on 14 is open to the public. The 18th and Main, there's an air-conditioned hub with all these companies and stuff like that in there, but at the same token, it gives you relief from the heat. Blue Cross Blue Shield, they actually buy four venues from us that are covered stadium seats that actually people can go in for free. A lot of people just don't ask, can I go in there, man? Like, if you see a venue that you want to go in, that we'll tell you if you can't go in or if you need a wristband to get in. But there's a lot of stuff for fans. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm really excited about. There's a company called Techniques that is from Panasonic. Okay. They are going to set up on 14. So right in front of the driving range this year. They have these souped up like earphones and stuff like that, earbuds and stuff like that. We're gonna mic up 14, and people will be able to stand there and actually put these headphones on and listen to the players on the tee box.
Oh wow!
And these things are supposed to be so good. They actually did it at Truist, and they did it a couple other ones. But these things are supposed to be so good that you can hear the blade of grass cut like that. I can't wait for that. But that's open to the public. So my thing is like when you're out there and you're walking the grounds and stuff like that, ask around, find the places you can go. I mean, like that dock, people get there at 7:30 in the morning to stake their claim. You know what I mean? It's almost funny. I mean, the first tee. Everybody thinks the first tee is such a big deal. It's the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. There's a suite at the first tee. Nobody can go in there. It's like, you can go in there, right? It's open to the public. I mean, people just don't realize that there's so many different fair places that we want people to go and enjoy the tournament from.
Talk to me about the role the hospital continues to play and the impact it has on the players.
I mean, it's one of the reasons I'm here. Sure. Like honestly, to be able to kind of come here and do what we've done, and be a part of something special like St. Jude is just unbelievable. And I tell you what, we've given St. Jude close to $90 million over the course of the lifespan of this tournament. Just over the last 2 years, it's been about $16 million. So think about that. Roughly 16 to 18% of the total money we've given St. Jude has just been over the last couple of years. So, I was talking to Jack Sammons about it. We are fired up at the potential of having that hit the $100 million mark, which is just going to be a great thing for it. But at the end of the day, the best part about St. Jude is all the activation throughout the week. We start with this weekend on Saturday. We have courses and cocktails, which they raise a bunch of money at. You have the St. Jude Jam, which last year I think they raised $1.5 million at last year, which is unheard of. We have the Purple Eagle plane dedication, where we have a plane that we come in and literally build it. And we dedicate it to a St. Jude kid whose parents actually work at FedEx. So it's a big thing for us. But at the end of the day, when the players are playing on Sunday afternoon, whether they make the cut or not, whether they're going to St. Louis the next one, whether they've had the worst round, the best round, no matter what level they're walking off or where their head is, they're greeted by St. Jude kids. It is one of the most special moments I've ever seen. And these players, no matter how hard they've fought all day, the elements, it's hot, they're coming in. You see 6 smiling faces of kids that are going through hell on earth. There's nothing you can do but understand and appreciate the opportunity that we have, and we should be just blessed.
And I've seen that up close. I know it's very easy, particularly if people are jaded or cynical, to while the cameras are on and you see Brooks Koepka with a kid from St. Jude, it's like, oh yeah, but the cameras are on. I've seen when the cameras are off.
Absolutely.
It has an impact on those players.
Dude,
it touches them in a way that it matters to them.
Dude, we have an art party with the players' wives. Yeah. So the players' wives come in and these kids are doing all the artwork, and that's where we get our caddy biz from. It is not just a 5-minute little camera snapshot. Hey, we're going to take a picture of this and make. It is a full-on event with St. Jude, and we're honored to be a part of it.
And most people, I think everybody who grows up in this area knows that it's there.
Yeah.
Most people never go in there.
Yeah.
And on some level, thank God. You don't want to be in there, but I'm fortunate enough to have been in there for a variety of different reasons.
Yeah.
Sometimes for good reasons, just to show up. Other times because, I have a friend whose kid's there. And but this is my forever. You can't go in that place and not feel it.
Well, I'll tell you what. The last time I was in there, I'm literally.
I know you can't not feel it.
But I got a story. So the last time I was in there for they had all their big donors and stuff like that in there, and they had kids up there telling a story. They had Dakota, which Dakota was one of our St. Jude kids. I think when Brooks won it back in 2019, I think he was there. Now he's a college golfer. What a story to tell. There's another young lady there. She's telling her story. There's another family there. They're telling her story. There's another family there telling and then you get to the 5th seat and it's empty. And it just okay, somebody must have not shown up or that's fine. No, the lady flat out says that's where my daughter should be.
Yeah.
And you see that it's 80% of the kids are healed through St. Jude, but you think 80%, wow, that's awesome. And then you got that 20%. And that's why you got to keep fighting. And that's why it's so special, that St. Jude every day, because they only have 70 hospital beds. I didn't realize that was my biggest thing is I thought it was a hospital. It's not. It's a research facility. And talking to these scientists and really and truly, watching them work to develop these cures and just the level of tenacity they have to make these cures, it makes you want to go to work every day knowing that something you're doing is creating a small portion. Because I tell you what, we gave them $8 million last year. That keeps the hospital open for 3 days.
I know.
Think about that. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, the last time I was at St. Jude, it was a shocking moment when you had 4 stories and a 5th one, and the 5th one wasn't there. And the mom was the narrator. She was the moderator. She was the one talking to us. And the strength that woman had to have to get up there and tell that story is amazing. And so when you come out to the FedEx St. Jude Championship, when you come out to the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs, you are supporting that.
There's no question. We had a little boy who plays baseball with my youngest son. A couple years ago, get diagnosed, and one day he's swimming in my pool, and the next day he's at St. Jude.
Yeah.
It was really like that.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to the parents, and I said, all right, I'm not going to try to spin this good. This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
But you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Yeah.
Because that place right there.
It's a stud.
You're going to be okay.
They're awesome.
And he is.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today, and he is okay. And so what I always tell people is, you walk in that place, it is initially going to hit you like this is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
By the time you get out of there,
you're inspired.
Uplifted, and that ain't my natural feelings. My natural feelings are to just stay sad. Yeah. But you walk out of there and you feel better about the people in there and the work that's being done in downtown Memphis.
And then you hate yourself because there's better people than you on this planet. Like, I mean, that are doing bigger things than you can ever. I mean, think about what we do. We have fun for life. I mean, I put on a golf tournament. I mean, like we have a blast in life. There are people that wake up every single day and they have one goal.
Yeah, they're 1 mile that way.
One goal.
I ain't changing the world right here.
Yeah,
I'm just getting through the days.
Yeah,
they're changing the world down there.
Yeah, and so the big thing is like that's what made it special. And I'll tell you, when I got this opportunity, I mean, like, because it's funny, I can tell you the story how I got this opportunity, but I'll tell you one reason is because I love Memphis, and people were shocked. They were like, wait, you love Memphis? I said, yeah, I grew up in South Mississippi. I grew up coming to Memphis in May. I mean, I used to go to Widespread Panic at Mud Island all the time. I mean, like, I love this place. And so it was really big for me to be closer back to home, but also be in a city that I love. And then, two, it's just, the access to St. Jude, but then also to kind of carry the weight of, FedEx. I mean, FedEx has been just an awesome partner of the PGA Tour. When you're able to put on the home tournament for FedEx, when they are the top of the food chain for the PGA Tour, it has been an honor to do this. And I can't wait for 2026, can't wait for 2027. We'll see what happens in 28. But right now with 26, we are on a rocket ship. Come see us.
Here's what I think.
Yep.
Here's what I hope. Obviously, this morning, the headlines aren't great. Yep. We can agree on that. We're both adults. But what I hope is that the PGA Tour sees what goes on here next week.
Yeah.
And sees what goes on here next year. And then realizes at some point, you can take your biggest golf tournaments to bigger markets.
Yeah.
Like, the numbers are the numbers. I got that. But you're not going to be able to have a bigger impact than the impact you can have in Memphis, Tennessee. And if they forget that for a minute, I hope they remember it sometime soon.
We're going to put on a show next week, and I can't wait for it, man. I mean, like, it starts this weekend, and it carries all the way through. And, I mean, there's so many events, but it's starting to get exciting, too, because now you're starting to get all those PGA Tour executives coming to town. You're starting to get the rules official coming to town, the player personnel people, and things like that. And, I mean, I tell you what, when you put your stake in the ground May 11th and you build your thing all the way through, when you get this close, you think you have everything where it needs to be. And then that rules official steps on the turf, and it's like, okay, let's do a round. And it's like, oh man, that bead of sweat builds up on you, man. It's kind of, but I mean, everything looks good. The agronomy team has that course looking absolutely phenomenal, and I just can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, honestly, the team we have, it's a Memphis-based team, and they are going to put on a show for the city.
I can't wait. I'll see you out there.
Yes, sir.
That's Robert Miller, Executive Director, FedEx St. Jude Championship. Get your tickets. It gets underway next week. We'll be back with Carry Out.
This Photoshop job of the College Football 27 cover for this year is atrocious. Like, who made this? It's so bad.
This is the deluxe edition. So you have to pay extra to get Kurt Signetti on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're paying extra to get Kurt Signetti?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Stay on top of everything happening in the 901, the Mid-South, and beyond with Grind City Media's e-newsletter, bringing all the news and notes directly to your inbox. Lang's World, always by Lang Whitaker, touches on the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, while Michael Wallace's Grizzlies Insider brings you all the latest coverage and analysis around the Grizzlies and NBA. Don't miss a thing. Stay connected to the conversation and sign up to download the lowdown today at grindcitymedia.com.
When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
City turns up. Where the best belong. Never love. Yeah, never love. 901 to the world, let them know we gotta never love. Yeah, never love. Bluff City show out, gotta never love. Never love. Yeah, never love. Got soul, got heart, got pride, gotta never love. Yeah, never love. 901 to the world, let them know we gotta never love.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
With Prime Global Group, a leader in innovative, socially responsible real estate investment. Discover smart strategies that align with your values at primeglobalgroup.net. That's primeglobalgroup.net. Let's do carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
So let me tell you one more thing I learned while I was over across the pond, as they say.
What's going on?
You have some cultural differences that you might have a blind spot for till you're right in the middle of them.
Mm-hmm.
You ever notice my new glasses?
Yeah.
These are what they call meta glasses.
Oh, do you got the little camera on them?
Yeah, I do.
Do you ever use it?
Literally never.
Okay.
I got them for Christmas. I'll tell you why. My wife has a story, you know about that, and she's constantly like having to curate, little outfits and stuff and take pictures. And at some point, our oldest son said, "Hey, Mom, you know they got these new glasses, and you don't have to like find your phone every time and take a picture. You can just wear your glasses and be like, take a picture, and they'll take a picture, and it's just easier." He's like, "You should get those." And she was like, "Okay, I'll get them." And so she got them, and she was like, "Well, I don't know what to get Gary for Christmas, so I'll just get him some of these too." And I said, "Thank you," because that's what you're supposed to say when somebody gives you a present. So I said, "Thank you." And then I was like, "But what am I going to use these for?" And she was like, "But you can take pictures with them." And I was like, "I don't think I want to do that." And she said, "Well, you can film with it." And I was like, "I don't think I want to do that either." And she's like, "Well, you can listen to music in it." And I was like, "Okay, well, I kind of like to listen to music, so that's what I'll do." And so for the past 7-8 months, whatever, I've been wearing these every day. And to the extent that I use them, this is how. If I'm in public and I want to listen to something, I don't have to put in AirPods. I can just play them and they'll come right through some little speakers right here in the side.
Weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's a thing. Cool. It's a thing. So all the time I could just be sitting there like at, let's say, baseball practice. And I'm just sitting just like this and I'm listening to music or a podcast or something and somebody might be trying to talk to me right now, but I can't hear them because I'm listening to music that's coming right through my little things. And that's the extent of I've used these Meta glasses. And I have worn these on TV, to restaurants, bars, bathrooms, locker rooms, everywhere you can imagine in America. And nobody has said a word about them, not one time, other than this. You might hear this sometimes. Are those Meta glasses? Yeah. How do you like them? Oh, are they cool? That's all you'll hear.
Okay.
That's all I've ever heard. Buddy. At least 4 different times in Europe, I was like stopped. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. That, a lot of Europeans are, as someone who dabbles, a lot of conspiracy theorists over there about their government, Big Brother, who's watching.
Incredible levels of privacy that just do not concern Americans at all. I'm not exaggerating. These are nice people who were, I'm talking about at least 20% of the wedding party at some point was like, so what are those? So are you filming me right now? I said, no. What? Like I really had a guy go, are you filming me right now? And I said, what? Excuse me? He's like, are you filming me right now? I said, no. He goes, but are those Meta glasses? I said, yeah. He goes, well, you could be filming me right now. I said, I guess so. But I'm not. He's like, but you could. And I said, well, yeah.
Yikes.
I was like, let's just name all the things I could do then. You ready? Like I have Meta glasses, so I could film you right now, but I'm not. I have a fist. I guess I could punch you right now, but I'm not. I have a penis. I could urinate on you right now.
That'd be pretty funny.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
So what's going on? He's like, but you could. And how do I know you're not? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know where to take this conversation with you. I said, you ready for this? I've had these for 7 months. I have never filmed anybody or anything. I don't even know how. I've never taken a picture. I don't even know how. I only wear them for appearance and to listen to music in airports. That's it. That's the extent of it. But it kept coming up over and over again. By the time we got to the wedding, I just put them up. I was like, I'm not even wearing them anymore. It was getting uncomfortable for everybody.
Damn.
Like there's one woman, she was like, how do I know you're not taking a video of my boobs?
Whoa.
I said, well, first off, I seen your Instagram page earlier. If I wanted like photos of your boobs, they're all over Instagram. I just go to your Instagram page and find your boob pictures. Like, I don't need them. You've already posted them. But to answer your question, no, I'm not taking a picture of you. What are you? I was just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So, but it was interesting. Everybody was cool. But it was just, I've worn them every day for 7 months. No, in America, nobody says a word. In Europe, it was a thing. It was a thing.
Interesting.
You walk into, and people are like, what are they up to? They treat you like you're a spy. I felt like a spy.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit like a spy.
Espionage, yeah.
I felt like it was espionage.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, if you have meta glasses, do not wear them in Europe. They don't like them over there.
What's today's biggest game?
Dodgers Cubs, first pitch, 1:20 this afternoon. Couple of likely playoff teams. Dodgers, first place NL West, best record in baseball. Cubs alone in second NL Central, but leading the NL wildcard race. Cubs minus 120, Dodgers plus 100. You get the Dodgers as an underdog. How you going to act?
I mean, dude, they've lost 5 in a row. I cannot, in my right mind, sit here and say, well, I'm just going to take the Cubs. Like, the Dodgers are not going to lose 6 in a row. They just, how?
Well, I mean, you just let the other team score more runs than you.
I'm just going to go Dodgers. I can't imagine them losing 6 in a row.
Famous last words.
I mean, we literally have talked about how they are ruining baseball, and they've lost 5 in a row. Like, they're not going to lose 6.
Dodgers plus 100. Bennett says that's the play. 121st pitch today.
What are we watching on TV?
Okay. I got so much TV stuff to talk to you about.
What's going on?
That's the thing about flying to the other side of the world.
You watched a bunch of stuff?
I watched a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I finished season 5 of The Bear, the final season.
We have started it, have not finished it. Was it good?
I loved it.
Okay.
Loved it.
Yeah, we started it, but we've had other stuff that
maybe
we've
the
been
best season of anything I've watched all year.
Okay.
Maybe my favorite season of The Bear. I think
nice.
I know a lot of people got out like season 3, season 4.
Yeah.
They were just too slow. Nothing's happened. I'm out. This was great.
Okay.
I thought they landed it perfectly. I loved every minute. I thought it was great. 2 thumbs up. I intentionally didn't read a single review, anything about it until I finished it. And then I was like, I hope people are saying this is great, because if not, maybe I don't even know what I'm watching, because this felt great. And then all the reviews were great. That was great. The Idaho Murders.
I'm almost finished with it.
It's really good. You're not going to get bored.
It is really good. Like Vernon said to watch it, and it's obviously number 1 on Netflix. And I was like, man, I consumed everything involved with that thing. Like, why do I?
You're not going to learn anything new.
You're not, but you definitely see. Like, I mean, the most fascinating thing to me from that whole thing is just the body cam footage of the day that the cops are going around talking to people in that vicinity, talking to the kids' friends, all that stuff. Like, I thought that stuff was kind of fascinating.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't think I learned a lot.
I don't think I learned a lot.
And if you're trying to figure out, so what's going on with this Brian Kohlberger guy? You ain't going to get that from this.
No.
But it was body cam footage, and the interviews made it interesting.
Yes.
And then I went and saw The Odyssey.
And?
Thought it was great.
Yeah,
of course. It was great.
And you were in Europe, like you.
I saw it. We actually saw it yesterday.
Oh, you did? Okay.
We tried to go see it in Boston.
It'd be pretty cool to see it in Europe.
We tried to. Lisbon did not have IMAX that we could find.
Gotta get IMAX. Yeah.
Majorca, we were just too busy.
Yeah.
Boston, we tried to go, sold out every.
Yeah.
It was sold out, and because I only wanted to do IMAX, and so we finally went yesterday afternoon. Paradiso.
Nice.
Had a great time. I thought it was great.
Awesome.
2 thumbs up from me.
Yes.
I've consumed a lot of TV. We'll talk more about it rest of the week.
What's the best thing we've read?
Michael Pina over at The Ringer had a nice column headline this way. How did the NBA analytics discourse get so stupid? His point is that we've now taken these numbers that used to make you smarter, and now we're using them in a way that just makes the conversation dumber. Like, if you're looking at Jaylen Brown and trying to make the argument that he's only the 7th best player on the Celtics last season because you've got some data point that suggests that, you should be smart enough to know that is one little bitty thing that is not a reflection of an accurate portrayal of what that is. And yet people want to use that to make points about him. How did we get so stupid? Just take everything, those things. Jaylen Brown's an awesome basketball player. And if you have a data point that suggests otherwise, you should consider it and like make it a part. But his point is we've taken these small data points and turned them into things that are bigger than they should be. and then we just start having dumb conversations.
Yeah.
I thought it was well done. You can read it over at the Ringer site.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow will be Thursday. Michael Wallace will join me, so we'll talk NBA. And probably have new updates on this Protect College Sports Act, because there seems to be new updates every single day. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll try to enjoy mine. Let's meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.